Hello and welcome to Minneapolis Northwest Tourism's annual meeting in review of the year 2020. This is Sid Haynes, Interim Executive Director. I invite you to listen and then join us on Thursday, January 28th at 9 a.m. for a Q&A session.
Hi, I'm Lisa Albers, Sales Manager at Rush Creek Golf Club and co-chair of the Minneapolis Northwest CVB Board of Directors. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to show you the highlights of what we've done to support tourism during 2020. Enjoy the presentations and thank you for joining.
When you receive an email or an electronic newsletter from Minneapolis Northwest Tourism, or M&W for short, chances are it's been sent to you by our office administrator, Jen Durdahl-Johnson. She masterminds the behind-the-scenes complexities of the organization, and I'm honored to have served in an interim capacity during this very challenging year. M&W is a 501c6 nonprofit. We're a destination marketing organization, or DMO, whose members include Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, and Maple Grove. Our vision is to be recognized as the destination of choice for visitors, meetings, and events in the Twin Cities. And our mission is to support our local economy by promoting the attributes that attract visitors and create meaningful experiences. We were established by a Minnesota statute that directs 95% of local lodging tax to the funding of a bureau in order to market and promote tourism. However, only 21% of visitors' spending is made in hotels. That means that 79% of visitor spending is on Main Street. Tourism keeps locals employed, not only at restaurants and retail businesses, hotels, or attractions and recreation sites, but in schools and in city offices. Tourism dollars multiply every dollar. Whether you're visiting an M&W city or you're simply checking them out on our website, tourism is a first impression. And tourism marketing has a domino effect in the community. Yes, it does draw visitors who have a measurable economic impact, but it also has a unique function in enticing new residents who buy homes and bring families and establish new careers and new businesses. And tourism perpetuates all kinds of jobs, from entry level to entrepreneurship. Under normal circumstances, 270,000 hospitality and tourism related jobs are sustained statewide. That's 11% of private sector employment in Minnesota. And it creates $5.8 billion, that's B for billion, dollars in salary and wages. Tourism also generates a direct revenue. In an average year, Minnesota tourism and hospitality creates $15 billion, again, B for billion, in gross sales, and $996 million in sales tax revenue. That's almost the B for $1 billion on that one. 18% of all Minnesota sales tax is generated from tourism. In fact, tourism generates nearly $42 million every single day. So a strong first impression combined with an actual visit multiplies the impact of tourism exponentially. It generates jobs and it helps fuel the local economy. So tourism multiplies every single dollar. Those recent federal stimulus checks we all got are very, very nice on our pocketbooks. But Minnesota households pocket $625 every year of sales tax that they do not have to pay because of the tourism and hospitality industry. Did I mention tourism multiplying every dollar? 2020 has been incredibly trying for our cities, their residents, and businesses. But not many industries have been hit harder by the pandemic than tourism, and that includes M&W. Hotel occupancy rates fell sharply in March, as you can see by the blue bars. At the lowest point in April, When stay-at-home orders were in full force, just 17% of metro-wide hotel rooms were booked. M&W hotels continue to enjoy a higher occupancy rate due in part to the housing of medical and construction workers and because we offer a safe, favorable location outside of the downtown area. Average occupancy for the 2020 M&W hotels this year was 38%. Taking vaccine distribution into account, along with the emergence of new COVID strains, industry travel evaluators agree that 2021 occupancy projections, seen here in the addition of a green line, show little change until early summer, and then a steady rise with average occupancy by year end at 52%, a slim but encouraging 22% behind 2019 pre-pandemic numbers. Despite challenging conditions, one hotel did open in our area this fall, the Fairfield Inn. That's adjacent to the Earl Brown Heritage Conference Center. In direct response to the pandemic in March, M&W let go of 2 administrative coordinators it had recently hired. We also furloughed all remaining staff to quarter-time work, and I was asked to step in as a part-time executive director. Additionally, a couple of our staff members were asked to increase their hours later in the year as the workload dictated. And then in November, a member of our marketing team chose to accept a full-time position outside of M&W, and then in early 2021, as recovery projections from our local hotels became clear and workloads were readjusted, we released one of our business development managers. Staffing reductions have been trying, but they were necessary. And I have no doubt that we will continue a positive relationship with these particular staff members as they work in other capacities inside of the industry. Also in March, the Executive Committee of the Board reduced the organizational budget by 60%. This quick action proved important in keeping the balance of our cash accounts steady, and it helped M&W retain a healthy portion of its reserve funds. By the end of the year, we had closed the books within the new budget. Additionally, we took advantage of an economic injury disaster loan, and we are now in the process of applying for a forgivable payroll protection loan. Now I'd like our staff directors to share the many ways that we continue marketing tourism in our area and driving business to your door.
Hello everyone, I'm Nancy Moore, the Director of Marketing and Communications for Minneapolis Northwest. And working alongside me is Regina Eckes. She's the Marketing and Content Manager for the company. Like so many people and businesses, we were turned around by the pandemic. Okay, maybe the word pivoted is commonly used these days, but it's really a perfect word to describe what we all had to do. We scrambled to communicate to our partners, produce a crisis communication webinar, paused campaigns, trimmed budgets, updated our website with the most current information, and adapted to working remotely as furloughed employees. Next, we reframed the way we did business by reprioritizing what was necessary to accomplish working limited hours a week. We remained connected with our partners in our industry, doing our best to anticipate what would happen next. Thankfully, we already had systems in place that enabled us to do that easily. Next, I'd like to share an example of how we pivoted, reframed, and remained connected with this video that was in production at the beginning of the pandemic. It was successfully repurposed just a couple of days before staff was furloughed. This video appeared on our website and social media channels. We were one of the first DMOs in the country to post a video like this one with a message of connection and hope for the future.
Celebrating the excitement of Minneapolis Northwest is our passion. But now, it's time to pause. To put the health and safety of residents and travelers first, it's time to pause, separate, to take a break, so we can reunite again. When this is all over, we will come together again, go on exciting adventures, and create new memories. We will gather, play, eat, drink, and celebrate. But for now, we need to pause and think of our impact on everyone. Please stay safe. Our favorite activities and attractions will be waiting, and when it's safe to visit again, we'll be ready and better than ever.
In our new normal, we used the time to finish the work of rebranding with a new logo, a fresh color palette, and modern typography. We completed our style guide and started rolling out our new branding in business collateral and on our marketing channels. We forged ahead with new platforms for our website, customer relationship management system, and new marketing automation email. These new systems are highly integrated, allowing us to do our jobs with more information and measurement at our fingertips. The new website is scheduled to launch in February, and it will also provide opportunities for revenue generation. Most of our marketing programs drive traffic to our website. One of the key performance indicators for leisure travel is measurement of that traffic. As you can imagine, 2020 resulted in less than stellar analytics as travel restrictions ensued. In this chart, 2019 traffic is represented by the orange line. 2020 traffic is represented by the blue line. In 2019, we had more than 473,000 unique users visit our site versus 171,000 in 2020. That's a decrease of almost 64% due to restrictions in travel. You can also see where traffic dropped off when we turned off our digital advertising in mid-March. But throughout the year, we continued to push out messaging on our social media channels, we activated marketing content, and we sent out targeted emails. Given what I know today, I believe that by the end of 2021, we'll enjoy an increase of 25 to 30% in overall traffic for the year. We kept up with what was happening in the world to create our blogs. Topics were a bit of a moving target depending on COVID restrictions, but we managed to feature topics like Passport to World Flavors, Travel the World with Your Taste Buds in Minneapolis Northwest, and have it coincide with Brooklyn Park's Restaurant Week. We featured the diversity of our area with blogs supporting Black-owned businesses, a guide to hiking and biking, and where to safely eat and drink during patio season. We also employ content activation in the form of digital thumbnail ads which show up when someone surfs the internet. They're highly targeted ads that drive new users to our site. We measure the success of this marketing several ways: user clicks from the ad through to our website, impressions or the number of people exposed to the ad, and the length of time a user stays on the web page the ad was linked to. Although we paused our campaigns for a period, we were still able to garner more than 8 million impressions for the year. We relied on social media as one of the best ways to communicate to our audience. It's affordable and flexible, allowing us to post exciting opportunities for visitors. We utilize Facebook Live to feature our restaurants, businesses, and events, and even though travel was restricted, we were successful at growing our Facebook audience to 16,000 or plus 6%, and our Instagram following by 12%. We coordinated posts with events such as Brooklyn Park's Restaurant Week and Maple Grove's Chalk Fest. Plus, we participated in the U.S. Travel Association's campaign, Let's Go There, getting people thinking and planning about travel again. One of the ways we've reframed our business is taking a hard look at efficiencies in our budget. We're moving to a completely digital version of the Insider's Guide to our area. The guide can now be emailed or links can be provided to conference goers and visitors for a cost-effective approach to promoting our area. In spite of the pandemic, we were still able to secure 10 broadcast placements in 2020 and had a total of 67 media placements this year with nearly 16 million impressions. As a service to our cities and partners, we also put together a crisis communication webinar in mid-March featuring Ann Barklew, an expert in crisis communications. This year's Chalk Fest was one of the only events in the entire Twin Cities that was not canceled. We were able to support their hybrid event through our website, social media, and event funding. In fact, this year, our marketing department was graced with an Explore Minnesota Integrated Marketing Award for our part in the 2019 Chalk Fest. We strive to help all our partners market their events and businesses in order to bring visitors and drive sales. The next slide's an example.
Hi, I'm Jenny Zaft. I'm the marketing director here at the Shops at Arbor Lakes in Maple Grove. I have worked with Minneapolis Northwest for the last 15 and a half years. And through that time, it's been a fabulous partnership, providing educational resources, helping me network and introducing me to other business owners, as well as anytime we've gone to Minneapolis Northwest with ideas for new events and ways to bring visitors to the market. They've been such a great partner, presenting sponsor of Chalk Fest at Arbor Lakes for the last 5 years, as well as helping us have reindeer at the property and just helping to drive business to our stores and restaurants, which is so crucial right now. So we just really appreciate the partnership.
There are a lot of reasons to be optimistic. We've used our downtime wisely to prepare for 2021. In the coming year, with new branding, website platform, CRM, and marketing automation tools, we'll have more integration and better information to inform business decisions. We'll leverage marketing automation to develop nurture campaigns and more readily capture visitors' information to grow our audiences. Most importantly, our website users and partners will have a better user experience as they engage with us online. We're very happy to say goodbye to 2020 and hello 2021.
Hello, welcome to the business development portion of our annual meeting. I'm Megan Diaz, Director of Business Development. Working along with me is Katie Langland, our Business Development Manager. Katie and I have both been with Minneapolis Northwest for over 2 years and have quite a few years of experience in both CVB and hospitality industries. Katie's primary market is sports and corporate, and mine are also corporate and association. Our team had some nice accomplishments last year and continuing into 21. I serve on the board of directors for Meeting Professionals International Minnesota chapter as the Vice President of Education, and I chair our annual Education Day. Katie serves on multiple committees with the MPI Minnesota chapter and was nominated and won the Supplier of the Year Excellence in MPI Award. She was also elected onto the board of directors for Minnesota Festivals and Events and will now serve on a U.S. Sport Congress advisory board. Ashley Mueller was another business development manager on our team until just recently. Like many organizations like ours, we have had to eliminate her position. She was an asset to our team and also won Volunteer of the Year from Associations North. 2020 started out with excitement and high goals and expectations that we had set for ourselves. A large part of what we do is attend trade shows where we meet with meeting planners from all over the United States and talk to them about our area and see if we are a good fit for any of the meetings or events that they're planning. We then take that information and send leads to our partners. Our goal was to attend 26 trade shows in 2020 with an estimated 500 one-on-one appointments. Most of these were canceled. However, we were able to attend 4 shows, resulting in 105 one-on-one appointments with meeting planners. Many mentioned that they would not have considered our area for future events or conferences unless they had met with us. It was also trending that most were not looking to book any meetings until the mid to end of 21 and then 2022. The momentum we were on with one-on-one appointments would have projected us to hit 650 appointments with meeting planners if the trade shows had not been canceled. Our plan for 21 is to attend between 15 to 19 trade shows and have an estimated 400 one-on-one meetings with planners. The requests for proposals or leads we receive from attending these events typically generates about $10 million in potential economic impact. Before I review our numbers, I'd like to tell you how we calculate economic impact. A group with 20 people staying for one night and holding a 2-day meeting would be calculated as follows. 20 room nights times an average daily rate of $109 plus 20 people times 2 days times $85 per day equals an estimated economic impact of $5,580. The $109 ADR is a conservative rate that we use to calculate the hotel room impact, and the $85 is what we estimate visitors spend per day in our area on things like dining, shopping, and entertainment. Just to give you an idea of how things were looking before the pandemic, here were the results we reported for 2019. 223 leads were sent. This was 27% more than the previous year in 18. $38 million in potential economic impact in our leads. That was up 34% from the year previous. So it was an excellent 2019. Another way we help generate economic impact in our communities is through our Event Assistance Fund. When one of our partners is bidding on a new piece of business for our area, we're able to help financially to assist in winning the business from one of our competitive cities, such as St. Louis Park or Minneapolis. We awarded $25,000 in event assistance funds or grant money, resulting in a definite economic impact of $1.5 million. 2020 looked a bit different from the amazing year we had in 2019. Although we were still able to send out 180 leads, 100 of those were sports leads. This was 80% of what we had accomplished the year prior. We were fortunate to be able to retain some hours during the pandemic to stay in front of our clients and be ready when they did have a need for our services. Many of these leads did end up canceling, but having those established connections and our continuous follow-up, we will be able to capture those leads again when they are ready to start booking meetings and events. We were also able to award 6 grants that did happen in 2020. The additional 21 approved grants are being followed up on to rebook in 21 and 22. So far, we've been able to move a handful of these grants to potential dates for this year and next. The outlook is optimistic as businesses begin to book their meetings and events again. Our Event Assistance Fund is a big selling point when we meet with planners. We do a large number of association and sports business in our area, so any help we can provide is a benefit. It is also unique to our CVB as there are no others in Minneapolis or Minnesota that offer this service. So what does the new normal look like for 2021? Events have shifted to virtual, more are adding in hybrid components, and we're starting to see full live event inquiries for later this year. We've been able to participate in virtual meetings and virtual one-on-one appointments with planners. To some extent, we're finding it easier to connect and have these face-to-face meetings with planners as they do not have to take time out of their day to meet us for lunch or coffee or travel. It's very easy to connect. The photo on this slideshow shows Katie having a one-on-one appointment with a meeting planner at the Connect Association conference this last October. We were at the ends of 8-foot tables. It was actually quite fun. It was a new experience for all that attended. We were one of only 2 CVBs that were still able to attend this conference and got some valuable face time in front of planners we may not have had a chance to meet with otherwise. One planner said she wouldn't have even considered Minnesota until she met with us, which now has turned into a potential repeat piece of business. We've obviously had to make some major changes to our budget as well and do more with less. Our focus is to use it wisely to make the most impact and leave a lasting impression. For example, we're sponsors of many events that we attend, which usually gets us podium time. This year we had to think outside the box and do virtual sponsorships. During the Association's North Joy Conference, we had an outstanding video of our area. Please go to our Facebook or LinkedIn page and take a look. It starts out with Ashley giving an introduction and lasts just over a minute. It was unique, creative, and stood out amongst all the others. We got many compliments on our video. It's these thinking outside the box type of ideas that help us be successful. Other ways we're working to bring business into the Minneapolis Northwest area is with familiarization tours. We're actively thinking on how to do this in a fun way, both virtually and in person soon. Staying in touch with our hotel and venue partners is key to our success as well. Knowing what capacity changes there are, what food restrictions, who's working, keeps us as leading experts of our area when our clients need our assistance. As the vaccination process in the country progresses, Meeting planners are inquiring about larger, in-person events later in this year. The sports market is making the strongest comeback from the pandemic. It's pretty hard to play soccer virtually. Katie has worked very hard to keep in touch with clients like Minnesota Youth Athletic Services, National American Hockey League, Best Buddies, and Dudley Softball Classic, and supporting these events and keeping them in our communities is key. She's also supporting new programs for activities like spikeball, pickleball, and more. And she's made new contacts throughout the shutdown with additional sports bids for volleyball, soccer, and Special Olympics. Partner events, what are those? Do you remember Mix and Mingles, Lunch and Mores, and our annual partner games? We miss those too. Getting us all together as peers is important. Knowing who your friendly competition is and sharing insights is a key takeaway for any sales professional. Watch for our first virtual Lunch and More sometime this quarter. This fall, we'll host a few fun events in person as well. We're keeping our creative thinking caps on. In closing, we want to stress that we're an extension of your sales team. If you need assistance, site visits, swag bags for clients and groups, grant funds to win a new piece of business, that is what Katie and I are here for. We are both very passionate about the Minneapolis Northwest area and have a strong drive to continue to bring revenue to our cities. Thank you all for your time, and we look forward to a new year.
Thank you both, Nancy and Megan, for sharing our 2020 activities in marketing and business development. Each year, we recognize exceptional service by a frontline employee with our Hospitality Rockstar Award. This is a person representing our attractions, accommodations, or restaurants who can actually make or break a visitor's experience. Our finalists for the Hospitality Rockstar of the year 2020 came from Sweet Taste of Italy, Rush Creek Golf Course, Best Western Plus, and Embassy Suites. Congratulations to all of our nominees. And the winner this year was...
Brooklyn Center hotel worker is the latest to be named Hospitality Rockstar.
So we give this award every year to an exemplary frontline service employee.
Nate Grumish is the front desk supervisor at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Brooklyn Center. Minneapolis Northwest named him its 2020 Hospitality Rockstar of the Year.
He's great attitude, great personality, so it's a plus. It's a plus and plus and plus.
I like to show a good first impression, especially working in hospitality. I mean, you have to show the guests that you're here for them and that you care about them.
Nate was nominated by several other managers and co-workers at the hotel. He received a $500 Visa gift card for his good work.
We head into the new year with 6 staff members, and I will continue in an interim role until the 4th quarter, when we hope revenues will support the resumption of a search for a more permanent executive director. However, our industry challenges aren't going to evaporate with the advent of herd immunity. Recovery from the devastation that we've experienced will take time and patience. With an eerie kind of absence of visitors and meetings and events this year, more destinations are coming to understand the vivid value of visitors. It's certainly not our preferred way to increase awareness about our value in the community, but we intend to continue our momentum, turning disruptions into creative solutions. If there's one thing that the world discovered last year, it's that social isolation isn't healthy. Travel and hospitality brings people together. It forges social connections and makes memories. We need one another, and tourism multiplies our ability to find one another. As the year progresses, Minneapolis Northwest Tourism has plans for a solid recovery. And we invite you to invite others to find that Minneapolis Northwest Tourism cities are a part of their travel plans. When you are ready to go, we'll be glad to find each other.
Thank you for your interest in Minneapolis Northwest tourism. We hope you're able to join us for the Q&A session next Thursday at 9 a.m. If you're unable to join us but have questions, please feel free to send them at any time throughout the year to info@minneapolisnorthwest.com. That's info@mplsnw.com. Thanks again. Stay well, and we look forward to a year of re-emerging travel and tourism in Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, and Maple Grove, Minnesota.